But the question becomes, what happens when the observed and the observer are interacting in ways potentially with the jury, potentially for public consumption? The concerns that were raised this week was whether or not certain people were knowing that they were, the theory was, I'm not making any accusations. Personally, I know DUI lawyers are some of the most ethical lawyers in the world. When I think of marketing lawyers, ethics, I think of Better Call Saul as a prime example of good ethics. DUI lawyers put those guys to shame. Not saying anything bad about DUI lawyers, just a little caveat there. But hypothetically, if somebody was in the courtroom, knew they're being taped and by the cameras as part of the gallery, as part of the observer. Usually the gallery isn't always recorded like this, but if that's going to happen, how does that impact the trial? If the trial is really for public consumption, like this trial kind of is, it's kind of not for the jury in the jury box. It's for the jury in the world. How does public participation in the observer role when you have cameras in the courtroom taping the gallery's reaction? How does that interface or interact? You're going to have a lot of judges second guess where cameras are put in the courtroom based on what's happened in this trial. I think they'd be wrong to do so, but I don't disfavor them. I think everything should be recorded because maybe somebody in the gallery did have an impact on the jury, and I want that on videotape, not hidden. But a lot of courts' reactions to this trial is going to be no more video access to the gallery.
And by the way, I pulled up one comment. I'm not getting into any of the LawTube drama. But everybody, and there's no but. The story, for those who don't know, DUI guy got called out by someone on Twitter for being accused of being a Depp fan for reacting to the TMZ guy's quip to Elaine. Yep. And I'm going to just outright defend DUI guy. Everyone in that courtroom reacted the same way. To single out anybody and impute bad intentions is dishonest because you have no reason to believe that.
I think what got him also into trouble was looking at laptops of lawyers. Somehow he accidentally looked at Heard's lawyer's laptop while it was public. That's patently unprofessional, highly unethical, very illicit.
Did he?
DUI guy did and talked about it. So he got himself on attention. He kept accidentally getting in the middle of controversy. Like I said, I've had a lot of experience with DUI lawyers. There's not a single one I would ever trust. That doesn't mean I wouldn't hire them. Some of them are Better Call Saul skilled, but they make Better Call Saul look like a beacon of ethics. Just being honest.
So I did not know about the peeking on the laptops and reporting on it.
Yeah. And apparently there's a sequence of issues. Apparently court staff had expressed concern about a wide range of conduct about disclosure. So I think he was on Heard's radar, Heard's PR team's radar for illicit reasons. Because, as you note, he had a reaction that a lot of people did when the lawyer asked a dumb question and got smacked back with the answer of the TMZ witness. But he was also in controversy for a bunch of other things he kept doing. Now, I don't care about the dispute as a general rule, except to the degree courts are paying attention, and courts might start limiting camera access because they will not like. Some courts will look at what DUI guy did and think he did it deliberately, or think other people will want to do it deliberately, even if he didn't. So that people will be mugging for the cameras the excuse in federal courts is the lawyers and the witnesses will mug for the cameras if they know they're cameras. Well, now what happens if the courts say, golly gee, the gallery will be mugging for the cameras? That it's going to be used as a new excuse to limit the amount of video cameras in the courtroom, illicitly in my view, but it's coming.
And I'll just say one thing. But my argument would be, however, the gallery responds that way, and if it affects the jury, the presence of cameras or not changes nothing because they would have done it regardless.
In fact, it just gives you better evidence that it could have occurred.
Yeah,
I mean, Heard's team would have had no knowledge he did that, but for the camera capturing it. And that others did it, and so if they want to make an argument, they can make an argument. Apparently, they did. And they also complained about people saying things, people being verbal. How much that happened or didn't happen. I didn't see any verbal actions by the gallery, but by the way, that happens in all high-profile trials. Galleries react all the time. Judges know that. They try to limit it. They try to restrict it, but particularly laughter. Laughter either hits or it happens or just naturally. Everybody either laughs or they don't. And so I'm not critical of DUI guys for his public reaction to it. I do think that the getting into controversy after controversy is a bit of a skep. Again, I come in with a pre-existing bias because my DUI lawyers make accident lawyers advertising look respectable. Just being blunt.
Well, now, and in fairness to me, I didn't know about the second thing.
All of a sudden, this woman, and she's walking behind me. She's actually down there, right behind this green box of sorts. She stands up in the back of the courtroom with her baby, and she says, "Johnny, I love you. Our souls are connected." And he kind of turned and waved, as he does sometimes. And everybody waved, and you saw one of the deputies come toward her, and she held up the baby, and she said, "This baby is yours." And everybody was like, "Oh, whoa, okay." And the deputy's like, "You're out of here." So